Today has been fucking fabulous. Fucking fabulous. So as I was watching Aaron Parnas's video today, and he was talking about how Vance was suggesting that Tucker Carlson um interviewed Giselle, and they were talking about giving her a pardon so she would say what they wanted them to say, and then they got to Todd Blanche, and then they were talking about certain things to do with the Epstein files, and they're like, well, let's pull it through the judges, so when the judges deny it, we can blame it on the judicial system. Like, we'll request these files, or we'll do this, and if the judge denies it, then it will be their fault that we can't release this stuff. And so there was videos that I made last year, and I said they're talking about trying to pardon her to get her to say all these things, and she's trying to put the deal on the table because that's what she introduced. Give me a pardon, I'll say whatever the fuck you want. Like, I'll cooperate whatever you fucking want. And so I was already privy to these conversations, and I made all of these videos for you guys. Like, you can find them on Patreon, about how I talked about how these conversations went down, like not only with Maxwell, but like with the lawyers and in the situation room. And I said, and they're having conversations without him. And they literally tried to do the judge thing. And they did the judge thing with Giselle. They sent the appeal through the courts. They tried to get it done through the courts, and the courts shot it the fuck down. And so that's what they told Giselle. Like, there's nothing we can do. They shot it down. I'm sorry. Like, it's out of our hands. Blame it on the court. I still think she's going for that pardon, though. So what ended up happening is she got moved to the Cushy prison, and that's how they got her to say, well, I never saw any wrongdoing with Trump. I never saw, because that's what she said in her little interview at her Cushy prison. But that interview was the payment for being in the Cushy prison. That's why they won't answer on why she was transferred. That's why they won't answer on how a violent offender, a sexual offender, is in a white collar prison getting special treatment at that. So while the pardon deal didn't work, the transfer deal did. And what Aaron posted today that came out fucking proves it. Damn, today's a good day. Now they got the associate, the longtime associate that they tried to set up and the reason, because they're like, well, why is your name in the paperwork to be a part of the deal that no charges are filed against you, and you didn't know it? Like, two different women that happened to. And they're like, well, I didn't even know I was part of the deal. I was not part of these conversations. I was never interviewed. I was never called in for questioning, but the name was added to the deal. Well, that's because they added them to the deal to say, if you talk, you obviously were one of the perpetrators. You were going to be in trouble too. So if you talk, this is saving you. So you can't fucking talk. It was a fucking setup. Now, the assistant guilty as fuck. Like, don't even get it fucking twisted. I'm not saying she's as vile as anybody, but she made a lot of fucking money off dealing the same shit. She just as guilty. She didn't participate, but she just as fucking guilty, because whether you the secretary, HR, the maid, the janitor, or the cook, you are complicit, and blood is on your fucking hands. But the assistant's like, yeah, they talk all the time. I arrange lots of meetings. I arrange lots of phone calls. And she also said, I guess she never saw no wrongdoing, blah, 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 whatever. But it still proves that they were good at the setup, and that this goes way beyond just Republican Democrat problem. This is a government problem. This has been a cover-up for over a decade. More than a decade. Almost 20 years of cover-ups, if not more. Now this one right here, this one's hilarious, and it also is a receipt and proves that I'm right. So in this video with Aaron, he's talking about how JD in these meetings, these secret meetings in the situation room where patient 4547 was not there. And he's basically saying, like, we need to release him. Like, he is pushing for the release and saying it won't be that bad. Like, he's done worse shit. Like, it's not going to be that bad. And then like Bondi and Todd Blanche, like, nah, it's that bad. And patient 4547 ain't going for it. He is absolutely not going to be okay with releasing anything with his name in it, especially this shit. And JD, like, nah, like, we should do it. We should push it. Because the whole point was his collapse. The whole point of where we've gotten to is the collapse. And he was already trying to push it and lay some dirt work there. Okay? We're not really dealing with the smartest of cookies when it comes to fucking strategy. All these receipts today. All these receipts. They've been having meetings behind this man's back from jump. I want you to think about this. They had a meeting in the situation room about patient 4547 and how to deal with him and the fallout of the crimes he has committed that are on paper and in their possession that they have promised the public to release. And he was not privy to this meeting, and they're deciding what they're going to do with him. And this was at the beginning. So how many meetings do you think they've had about patient 4547 without him in the room? That just proves my receipts even further that he is not in charge. And that this was always the fucking plan. To use him until his removal. And JD calling the shots. Clearly. Anyways. Damn, it feels good to be a gangster.